Assalamu alaikum. Greetings of peace to each and all. My name is Azza Karam, and I have the distinct privilege to be able to serve as the Secretary General of Religions for Peace. In case you do not know, Religions for Peace is a little bit like the United Nations of Religions. The United Nations has governments as members, Religions for Peace has religious institutions and leaders of faith communities as members. This is a privilege for me to be able to be with you here today. I remember the very first time I attended the Parliament of World Religions meeting was in Melbourne, Australia, and I was absolutely blown away by this intense energy, the wonder of so many people of faith coming together across their different traditions, across with different colors of everything. It was a microcosm of the best of humanity coming together. The best of humanity coming together is what we very much need now. We don't just need it for ourselves as human beings, we need it for every living species very much, including and starting with our planet. Our planet is giving us danger signals every day in every corner of the world. COVID is one of those signals that has come to everyone and hurts everyone without discriminating. It is time that in our response as humanity to save our planet, we also don't discriminate against one another. Enough of the prejudices, enough of the hatred, enough of the othering, enough of thinking one party, one side, one religion, one color, skin, one gender is better than the other. Enough already. Our own earth is screaming enough. And our bodies today are screaming enough. And COVID is screaming loudest of all. It's not just screaming enough, it's saying very clearly, it is either we live together or we die together. That reality is primarily the impetus for why compassion in action has to be not just a good couple of mottos, but actually the mantra, the way forward. In my faith tradition, Islam, I am told that as we are diverse, that is how God created us, and in our diversity is an obligation to learn about one another, and in learning about one another, we learn about ourselves. Substitute that word learn with the word love. As we learn to love one another, we learn to love oneself. And then substitute that word with serve. As we serve one another, we serve ourselves. And that's the fundamental teaching of COVID today to everybody. No one is going to be safe as long as anyone else is still impacted and affected by COVID. It's a fact. It's a fact of life. The call for compassion in action is not a luxury. It is an absolute mandate. It is an imperative. Religions for Peace created the Multi-Religious Humanitarian Fund, naively thinking that the religions would like to come together to serve together. What has happened is religions are indeed serving communities 1,001%. But what is yet to happen is for religions to work together to serve everyone. Imagine our society when, God willing, we can be beyond this particular COVID disaster that we're all living. Imagine a society where we have learned through working together to serve together, we have learned to love one another more. Or a society in which we learned that we just look for our own and look after our own religious institution, our own political institution or political party, our own country, our own community. Imagine the difference between the worlds that we would have. Working together to serve everyone is compassion in action. It would be really not terribly useful if you survive and I die, or I survive and you die, because I don't think that would be a world fit for all. A world fit for all, a world that recognizes the divine, is a world that mandates each and every one of us to serve together. That is compassion in action. Not to look at the differences, but to serve, to love, to survive and thrive together. That is the mandate that we have to realize. Religions for Peace is committed to working with the Parliament of World Religions and with all faith communities around the world to serve together everyone, so that truly no one is left behind. And in fact, we may all not just survive, but please God, we can also thrive. Please remember, please serve together all. Please serve together all. That is compassion in action. Let's make it happen. It is entirely in our own hands, hearts, and minds. And with that, I bid you a blessed, blessed consultation.